Friends, today we will study unit number 6 of PG Diploma in Agriculture Extension Management. And the unit title is Applications of Management Techniques in Agricultural Extension. The structure of the presentation would go as follows. We will have 7 sections like objectives, introduction, application of management techniques, changing roles of extension manager, management of agriculture and rural development programs, and finally, we will sum up. So the first section is objectives. Objectives of this particular unit are to know about management principles, understand management processes, and applications of management principles in agricultural extension. Let me give a little bit of background or a context of agricultural extension, and then production scenario in the country. You all are aware that India has made a good progress in agricultural production performance. 259 million ton food grain production is our record. But at the same time, we must also understand that 83% of our farmers are small and marginal. Average size of holding is 1.3 hectares. We must also understand that 60% of our cultivable area is rain-fed. We have areas with poor resource base. There is a tremendous gap between irrigated and rain-fed agriculture with reference to production and productivity. We must also understand that extension in allied areas like horticulture, animal husbandry, dairy, fisheries is weak. There are the regional imbalances in production and productivity. And this context we must understand while application of management principles in agricultural extension. At the same time, management principles and management techniques are essential for better performance of extension. When I talk about agricultural extension principles and management principles, agricultural extension must respond through the following. Participatory approaches. I mean, this is one of the very fundamental principles of the agricultural extension, that there has to be participatory processes, and the group approach has come up as one of the very important techniques for agricultural extension. Agricultural extension must respond by reorienting the field functionaries as per the need of the extension in a particular area. Accordingly, we have to redesign the training programs. ICT application has come up as one of the very important techniques in agricultural extension. We must also promote the bottom-up participatory processes so that there is participation of the beneficiaries in the development programs. We must promote market-driven strategies, and the feedback coming from the farmers, from the field extension functionaries, from the research scientists will have to be taken care of. Before we talk about the management principles and their application to extension, we must understand how the agricultural extension is operated in a given state. In other words, who are the extension actors in extension processes? There are state functionaries at the state level, at the district level, at the block level, and below of the block. There are state agriculture university outreach programs are also supplementing extension efforts. Then there are Krishi Vignan Kendra scientists. It's a district level organization and the team of the scientists. Then there are large number of non-government organizations are also performing extension function. Then there are farmers organizations, states like Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka. Good number of farmers organizations are coming up and have come up. Then there are entrepreneurs in different subject matters who are also playing the role and responsibilities of agricultural extension. Extension also moves from one farmer to another farmer, and there are media and ICT techniques are also supplementing agricultural extension. Here, I just want to mention that there are large number of actors, large number of stakeholders in the agricultural extension process. Now here comes how to apply the management principles in agricultural extension. And in the written text, it has been made very clear that there are 7 steps in application of management principles in agricultural extension. I will just very broadly mention what are those 7 steps. Number 1 is identify the proposition. For example, if I have to work in a block and work on extension messages, so first thing would be I will identify my extension proposition. Then I will see how the the preliminary information on proposition. If I have to work in a block, I would see what are the agroclimatic situation in the block, the cropping pattern of the block, the agriculture and allied enterprises in the block, the adoption level of various practices in the block. That is called as preliminary examination of setting. Then once I identify the field situation, then I will try to find out what are the tentative solutions for the problem. But that will not be the final step. Further, I will have to go for thorough investigation of the situations, the microclimate of area, the cropping pattern, the micro level situations, different categories of the farmer in a block, how they are responding to the situation, how they are responding to the extension. This step, 4th step, is called as thorough investigation step. And once I have thorough investigation of the problem, of the proposition, then I will have a lot of information. Then I will classify the data, I will classify the information, and then move towards firming up the solutions. And while proposing the solution, then I will see what kind of field adjustments will have to be made in terms of deployment of manpower, deployment of resources, so on and so forth. The next point which is very important in agricultural extension is to know your clientele. And when I talk in terms of farmers and different type of adopters, the adopter categories in agricultural extension are innovators, the farmers who innovate and then who try for the technology, who understand the technology and immediately adopt the technology. They are called as innovators. Then there are early adopters, those who follow the innovators. Then there is early majority, then late majority, and the laggards. And the laggards are the categories of the farmers who generally they remain behind, and perhaps that category needs little more of extension efforts. Now I must also mention here that there are 5 well-defined adoption stages. That if you have to introduce an innovation in a given village or a given block, then it moves through 5 stages. Number 1 is awareness. If I am a farmer, I become aware about the innovation. Then I take interest in the innovation. I take a trial on a limited scale on my field of the innovation, then I wait for 1 or 2 seasons and see how it performs on my field, and then I go for full scale adoption. Now, the adoption stages has to be supplemented by proper extension methods. And there are individual methods, there are group methods, and there are mass methods. I will like to explain here a little bit. Individual method is a method where I get in touch with the farmer, and then there is a direct contact between farmer and extension worker. That is called as individual method. Then there are group methods like method demonstration, where I work with a group and then explain them the group methods. And then there are mass methods of extension like campaigns and publicity for awareness of the technology. Now here we will understand how the roles of the extension agent are changing, and how the extension is changing over a period of time, and what are the changing roles and responsibilities of the extension manager. Now here in a given block and a given district, the extension agent will have to be a leader. He will have to lead the innovation. The extension innovator, the extension leader will have to be innovator, coordinator. He will have to be a good decision maker, and at the same time he will have to be a good trainer and human resource practitioner. When I talk about the changing roles and responsibilities of the extension manager, there are 3 more very important parameters or the traits of the extension manager. Like he will have to be a good motivator. He will have to motivate the community. He will have to motivate the farmers, farm women, farm youth for implementation of innovations. He will have to be a good implementer. He must take decisions and implement the innovation. I mean, something like he will have to be a composer in an orchestra. Now let us talk about management of agriculture and rural development programs. 4 important functions we will have to see here. There is organizational function. If I am in charge of the Krishi Vigyan Kendra, then how my organization will respond to the extension innovations. What will be the responsibilities of program coordinator and the subject matter specialist? What are the set of objectives of the extension principles, and how to deliver the services through senior management, the supervisory functionaries, and the field functionaries. There are about dozen of core values of agricultural extension as a service delivery. You have to see that extension delivery moves on an inclusive mode. Information is authentic, that is to be passed on to the farmers. It has to be science-based. The partnerships and relationships will have to be maintained. There has to be public trust and public confidence in your innovation. Empowerment of the farmer is another value that extension agent must see. Convergence of efforts at the field level. There has to be a local and social commitment and professionalism. These are the core values of agricultural extension. Now let's take an example of emu farming, a case study. In mid-90s, emu farming had become very popular. States like Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh had moved for emu farming. Northwestern states are also started getting interested in emu farming, like Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and nearly 2,500 farms have come up in different parts of the country. But when it came to post production scenario, then there were lack of meat and oil processing units. International export market was not properly developed, and those farms have crashed. At the same time, animal protection organizations demanded ban on these farming. The professional ethics of agricultural extension, which demands for professionalism at the individual level and professionalism at the organization level. And at the same time, there has to be a scientific field evidence before you promote an innovation. To sum up, we have studied the management principles in short, the application of management principles. Then we spoke about changing roles and responsibilities of extension manager, management of agriculture and rural development programs. There are large number of programs coming up through agriculture and rural development sector. But when you work on extension, then there will have to be professional ethics, professional and at the individual level. And then also we have studied that if we apply management principles, the effectiveness of extension moves fast. Thanks.